Are you a deviant? You know, like those of us who binge watch serial killer programmes, laugh at the stupid shit people do, and revel in anything adult? Well, you found your people. Join us as we crack open the door to the padded cell and release the insanely stupid, the weirdly wonderful, and those who choose to live outside societal norms. We'll delve into the strange, the macabre, the sexy, and the outrageous. So if you're a deviant, then you have your place with us in the padded cell. Hello, and welcome to episode 19. Fucking hell, Nance.
Nearly at 20.
Nearly at 20.
Woo.
It's just nuts, isn't it? So that means that there's been like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of padded cell out there for people to enjoy.
And some people are just starting, so.
I know. And I've got all the episodes to go back on. I know, yeah. So, Dylan's about to pass me some toilet roll. Thanks, Dylan. Yeah. Oh, you could have ripped it off the roll.
So I want to give you as much as you need it.
I'm a lady.
Fucking
give me a bugger up. It's decent toilet paper. It's decent toilet paper, thank you. Now, I'm going to hide it off the desk. I'm not going to leave the toilet roll. So I'll put that down here. The reason why he's just handed me tissues because I let them know that my subject today is a bit emotion and I'm just unstable today. I've been watching dog videos, old dogs who are like 16 and their owners are like, this was them at 1, 2, 10... and now they're over the Rainbow Bridge. I'm like, fucking hell, give me a warning. You can't just dump this stuff on me. Oh my God. So I'm a little bit emotional and I've got an emotional subject to do. However, in the meantime, how are you, Nance? What have you been up to, kid?
I'm okay, thank you.
Anything new?
No, work.
Life.
Always, yeah.
Getting used to it being January.
Yeah. Just into the first event of the year. Getting off to a flying start.
Raring to go?
Always.
Raring to go.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they can see what's on my mug. I don't think they can because I've got black
We didn't
tea.
even mention them last time, did we? You might be able to see
Can you
mine
see
better.
yours? Can you see that,
Can you
Dylan?
see this?
So on the mug, this isn't our merch, by the way. I'm not like plugging merch. We will have mugs, but I don't know if they're going to be like this. It's a clear mug, and on the front of it, it's got like a Spotify kind of what do you call it?
It's got the Spotify logo, hasn't it? And the little
what do you call that bit? Like the press play, fast forward bit. Is there a term, Dylan, that I'm missing?
I think so. No.
Spotify thing.
Controls.
And then it says the Padded Cell Podcast with a little heart because you should be loving us. So we got ourselves some mugs with the Padded Cell Podcast on. Yeah. So, yes, today is going to be one of those episodes. And before I go on to that, I'm going to talk about another podcast that I've been listening to. Mm-hmm. Now, I have mentioned it to you, but I want to tell the masses because you need to listen to this. If you listen to our podcast, it's because you're into, what do I say? The strange, the macabre, the sexy and the outrageous.
Yep.
And, you know, we love a bit of serial killer stuff and a bit of the outrageous stuff.
Just anything.
And this podcast, it just spoke to me. And it's a podcast by two journalists called Liz Hull, who's a courtroom journalist, and Caroline Cheetham, she's a broadcast journalist. And they've both literally just won awards, like top journalism awards. Caroline's also a lecturer in Salford University. And they covered the Lucy Letby trial. Okay. So for those who don't know who Lucy Letby is, she was found guilty. I've spoiled it for you now.
Spoilers.
Well, it's been in the news. It's been everywhere, all over online. So the podcast follows the trial from day one right up until after she was found guilty and what the sentencing was and stuff. Obviously, I knew she was found guilty, but the podcast, the way they do it, it's so good. It's so professional, and I can see why they've won awards because I was saying to Jim, I know keep going about it, love, but let me just tell you about this episode. And it's literally about 20 minutes. It's not long. So you haven't got to invest loads of time in it. There's 60 odd episodes because they go week by week, and the trial, including the jury going out and the verdict, was about 10 months.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, Lucy Letby was accused of 23 counts of murder and attempted murder of neonatal babies. Some shortly after they were born, some 100 days or more after they were born.
Yeah.
And she worked in the Countess of Chester Hospital. And it really struck a chord with me because I have done a little bit of time in Chester Hospital. I know colleagues who work in Chester Hospital. And obviously I've been a midwife and I've dealt with newborn babies. And to the thought of another healthcare professional murdering babies, it was just, I couldn't understand it.
It's very close to home for us as well, isn't it? It's very on our doorstep.
Very, very much. It's literally 20 minutes down the road. So I needed to listen to this podcast to really grasp why another health professional would do this. And the way they put it across is excellent because there's a lot of legal stuff that they can't talk about. They can't jeopardise the trial in any way. They can only talk about things that the jury have heard already. Yep. And they can't name the babies. The babies were named baby A to Q. Fucking hell. A to Q. Nance. So, but it's excellent if you like real crime, and if you like courtroom stuff, even if you don't even like courtroom stuff, the way they do it's very good. You need to look it up. It's on Spotify, and you've just look up the Lucy Letby trial and put in Daily Mail next to it as well, which is the paper that's been involved in creating this thing. And it'll pop up. There's a couple more trials that have come since then, but Lucy Letby trial was the first one. And because that went so well, they then developed a couple others. But if these girls would even listen to this podcast, we're not the sort of podcast they all listen to. But
you never know.
I just want to shout out to them because they did an excellent job, and all of the other people that came on that they're interviewing, they were talking to other journalists, they were talking to medical professionals, all kinds. Every single person said, "Girls, you're doing a great job here." Yeah, it was very balanced. It was sympathetic, but very professional. Excellent. So please, if you like that sort of thing, go ahead and watch it. They've had 12.5 million downloads. That's how good it is. I thought we were doing all right with ours. With our, what, 30,000? I was going to say 30 million then, if only.
One day.
But yeah, have a little look because I think you're going to love it. You're welcome. Obviously, it's hard. It's a hard listen. But if you're into that sort of thing, you'll love it. So, your subject today.
Take a big gulp of that tea.
Oh, man. Okay. I might shed a tear, and if I do, I'm just mind your business and just let me carry on with it, and I'll use my bog roll to wipe my face.
You've got a whole roll, so it's fine.
Okay, so today I am going to talk about a lady who was found dead in 2006, and she was dead for 3 years before anybody found her. Well, wow. Actually, it was a little over 2 years. The papers say 3, but actually when you look at the timelines, just over 2. And if you remember in a previous episode, I talked about one of my greatest fears, was my greatest fear, and that is to die alone with nobody around me. I remember Ryan saying to me, as if you die alone, everyone knows your face now, it's all over the place. Now, this girl, this lady, she was also well known, and she had a big friendship circle, and yes, she died and nobody missed her. And it just got me. It got me in the feels. I wanted to know more about her. Mm-hmm. How this happened. So let me tell you more. So her name was Joyce Carol Vincent. And at the time she died, she was 38. She was born in, I think it was 1965. In Hammersmith in London. Her dad was from Grenada, so Caribbean, and her mum was of Indian descent, but I can't find any specifics to that, so she was mixed race. And her mum died when she was 41. And it had a real profound effect on her, and she was brought up by her 4 sisters when her mum died. Her dad was around. She called her dad Pork Pie because he wore one of those pork pie hats. There used to be a great programme years ago called Desmond's. You ever heard of it? No. And do you know what? I'm going to go off on one here, but it was basically a barbershop programme with all these black barbers and black clientele, and the main guy was called Pork Pie. And they used to go and go, "Oh, you're Pork Pie." I can't do the accent, I'm so sorry. Pork Pie. Fucking brilliant it was. So she calls him Pork Pie. He wasn't that great and wasn't always around though. And at the end of all this, I got a little bit of a feeling that he had more to this story than initially was apparent. Mm-hmm. So that's a little bit of a background about her, where she was born and stuff. She loved to sing, and a lot of her friends said that she had this like star quality, almost like an X Factor quality about her. And she was stunning. Beautiful, beautiful girl. Beautiful colour skin. Because she was mixed race, she just had this amazing, amazing colour skin, beautiful eyes and everything. And she just got attention from everywhere. or men used to just be drawn to her. And she did have quite a friendship circle, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But she was last known to be seen in December 2003. And she was found on the 26th of January 2006. So it's a little over 2 years. She was found in her flat. It was a council flat in Wood Green in North London. And enforcement repossession agents forced the door open through non-payment of rent, basically. But she died. They know she died in 2003 in December because the food in her fridge was rotten and it had that date on it, all around December 2003. And she was very badly decomposed. She was a skeleton, basically. So they knew she'd been dead a long time. Her TV was still on BBC One. And there were Christmas presents wrapped in the corner. So she'd been wrapping presents. At first I thought, was this a suicide? But no, from what we can see, she was wrapping presents. She had plans. She had things going on. So I don't think so. She was unrecognisable, so she had to be identified by her dental records. And she had the most amazing smile as well, beautiful teeth. So I'm thinking, a telly was on, playing BBC One for over 2 years. Why wasn't the electricity cut off? Why did the electricity think, but my bill hasn't been paid for a little while? Let's go and check this out. Let's go and send somebody around. Or maybe speak to the council and say, has this person paid the council tax and the rent? Because we haven't had our lecky paid for ages. And they didn't. And I will go into it a bit more later, but they were asked actually for a response on this and no comment. And so the council tax and rent hadn't been paid for that time, but eventually the rent, there was an arrears of £2,400. Not a lot. And they came knocking down the door for her, and that's when they found her. The neighbours, now it's a flat, so there's people above her, to the side of her, and below her. The neighbours said they remember a funny smell coming from the flat, and they'd noticed that the TV was left on. They said they'd knocked and there was no answer, and they didn't take it further. So the lecky company, the council, her neighbours, nobody did anything at that point. So how can a young woman of 38 years be forgotten? I needed to find out, and I've done an awful lot of research on this.
Yeah.
I've read and read and read. And what I found was a brilliant documentary that I'm going to recommend to you. It's called Dreams of Life. And it was made by Carol Morley, who, very similar to me, read this story and thought, I need to know more. I need to know why somebody can die in 2003 and nobody misses her, a young woman. And so she really did a deep dive into her life, and she put an advert out in the local paper and said, does anybody know this woman? And put her name out there. And she did get quite a lot of responses. Not everybody thought, this can't be the same Joyce Carol Vincent, because she's only young. She can't be dead. We didn't know she was dead. We know her.
Yeah.
But it was. And so they all stepped forward. And so this lady started interviewing them all and piecing together a timeline of her life to try and figure out how she got to this point of disappearing, basically, and nobody missing her. So, quick slurp of me tea. Oh, I've also decided I'm not going to do sexy slurps down the microphone anymore because it's fucking annoying me when I watch it. I'm trying to do discreet slurps instead. So, some friends were interviewed, a couple of work colleagues and some ex-boyfriends. And what came across, like I say, she was a mixed race lady. And I got the feeling, and people said, that race didn't seem to be important to her. All of her friends, her boyfriends were all different races, cultures, religions. She just embraced people.
Yeah.
She didn't have, a stereotypical boyfriend, a type. She just loved people, and she loved the person rather than how they looked. She was very beautiful, he said, articulate, immaculately dressed, very exotic. And she had a number of jobs, working in quite responsible positions in finance. But she was transient, and she moved from job to job, home to home. And she didn't seem to have her own friends or her own interests as such. So she'd meet a guy and she'd take on his friends and his interests, and she'd literally engulf herself in his life. And then she'd just disappear and move on. And sometimes they didn't know why, or maybe it just sort of fizzled out and she'd move on and they'd maybe lose contact. Yeah. But then sometimes she'd out the blue after years, oh yeah, Joyce again, trying to go out, and they go, oh yeah. So it wasn't unusual for her to just disappear out of people's lives and then pop up again. Now, she did have a boyfriend who I feel could have been the love of her life. And he actually says in interviews, looking back now, I think she was the love of my life. And his name was Martin, a white guy. And actually, not only he, but their friends say it was a very unlikely pairing because he was a bit nerdy looking. Sorry, Mark, mate, but, a bit nerdy and plain. Just a regular guy. And then you see this girl who's very exotic and very pretty and gets all this attention. And all the friends are going, what are you doing with him?
Yeah.
Well, you can get anybody you want. But it just sort of tells us a little bit about her character, that she went a lot deeper than the skin.
Yeah.
And, I get the feeling that they had a lot of nice times over the years, but they were very on and off. She'd be with him for a little while, then she'd move on, then she'd go back to him. If she needed anything, she'd ask him and he'd drop everything for her. He was very loyal to her over the years and helped her move all the time. She's moved everywhere, all around London. And one time she needed to escape for a little while in 2001 and he went, yeah, come and sleep on my couch. And 2 nights ended up being 6 months. He actually said at that time, we're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend again. She went, no, I just need somewhere to stay. She had other boyfriends as well who also talked in the documentary. I'm not going to go into it too much. Have a little look at it. You'll learn more. But they all had really good things to say about it. But the common theme was that she was a bit of a drifter and she would move on unannounced without any notice whatsoever. Now, her last job, they didn't say what her last job was, but I've read around it. There's some finance companies, legal companies. Now, her last job she left in 2001. And there was mixed, what's the word I'm looking for, reasons of why she left. So she told some people she was headhunted. She told other people that she was going off travelling. So they don't actually know what happened after that and why she left. Now, we think around this time she may have been a victim of domestic violence because there are records saying that she entered a women's refuge. But obviously there's confidentiality, and the writer of this TV programme approached the refuge and they said, no, sorry, we can't tell you anything more. But she wanted to know maybe who the perpetrator was or what happened to her. How did she fall into this situation? This confident, outgoing woman, very assertive. How did she fall into this domestic violence situation? But they don't know. And we think it's around this time when she went to seek solitude with Martin after being in the refuge.
Somewhere safe, isn't it?
Somewhere safe. She obviously trusted him. Yeah. He was like a little safe haven. And I'm really glad she had that place. So there's a lot of conflicting stories. And it seems that she's like a woman of mystery. So she'd tell people one thing and then tell others another. And one example of this, she said that her dad was dead. But actually, they now know that her dad died in 2004. They've got the death certificate. So why would she tell people that her dad's dead? There's obviously a good reason for that. And she didn't come across as a liar.
Yeah.
So they said that she wasn't malicious. If she told a tale, there's obviously a good reason if she didn't want to share the information or whatever. But this air of mystery is very apparent. And she'd say, she'd come across being very well educated and she'd say she had different qualifications and things. But actually, they got her old school records up and she didn't do great in school.
Yeah.
Her mum got elocution lessons as well. Her mum obviously wanted her to talk nice, talk proper.
Not like us.
Not like us, common as muck. Anyway, in this time when she was with Martin, when she just went and slept on his couch for 6 months, she said that she'd got this job in the city and she was going to move back to the city and just temporarily with him, just for a little bit. But he later found out that she was a cleaner. She hadn't got a job in the city at all. And what I think has come out of all this, I think she's hit hard times. Reading between the lines, I think she's just gone from friend to friend, relationship to relationship, and met somebody who hasn't been great. 1 or 2 people maybe.
Yeah.
And she's been controlled, possibly left her job. The man might have coerced her, who knows? I'm literally speculating here. And she's basically isolated herself from her friends in the community. And she moved around a lot, to the point where nobody knew where she was in the end, and she ended up in this flat in North London. Wasn't a great flat, from what I can see. So she purposely isolated herself, and I think it's because she was ashamed.
It's like a pride thing, isn't it? You want to protect what people say from you.
So if you think about the woman that I pictured there, the confident, assertive, immaculately dressed, eloquent lady, has got into this relationship, hit hard times, left her job, living in a council flat.
Yeah.
Probably hasn't got a lot of money. One of her friends on the video, on the documentary, said that she saw her in the high street and she shouted to her, Joyce, Joyce. And she heard and put her head down, scurried off. And she said she didn't look the same. She looked a bit dishevelled. Yeah. And she said, I think she was just really, really embarrassed. And she said now she's, sorry she didn't go after. So, so after Marcin said she left for the city, he never heard from her again. Never. And he didn't have a means of getting in touch with her because she was so transient. And he just thought that eventually she'd drift back and she'd get back in touch, but she never did. Now, not long before she died, she had surgery for a peptic ulcer. And it's going to get me. So her next of kin, she put down as a bank manager.
Wow. She
had 4 sisters somewhere who hadn't kept in touch with her. She had Marcin. Why didn't she put Marcin down? A bank manager was her next of kin. So after she died, adverts were put out in the local papers and they put the name Joyce Carol Vincent. Now, not everybody knew her full name. Yeah. And also Joyce is quite an old name, isn't it? My name was Joyce. And no photograph was put in the adverts. So people were reading, some of her friends saw it, Joyce Vincent. Oh, it can't be our Joyce, she's only 38. Yeah. Can't be her. So they didn't reply to the advert. Nobody stepped forward and said, yeah, I know her. So for all we know, she's in some pauper's grave somewhere or a council grave or something. And all these people that she's known have not had any input into this. So some of these people only knew that she died when Carol Morley, who made this documentary, approached them. Some of them didn't know, including Marcin. So on this documentary, you can hear them talking really, really, what's the word I'm looking for? Sincerely about this amazing relationship they had. But it's tinged with such sadness and regret because they're like, well, we didn't get a chance to say goodbye. She's on her own for all that time in that flat. Imagine somebody that you loved or a friend, a really close friend, found dead after over 2 years as a skeleton with your fucking Christmas presents around you and the TV still on. I just don't know how I'd feel about that. And these people were so good on this documentary. So you really should watch it if you're interested because they were excellent. So there's a lot of regret there. And they've offered a lot of information to give us some insight into this lady's life. A lot of it, I've obviously got myself for this. Now, so if you think about this lady, she met Nelson Mandela. She met Stevie Wonder. She was an aspiring singer, a beautiful, young, successful-ish woman, and she died alone somehow. All these people, these like utilities, the council, let her down. This is only in 2006. It's not that long ago. No. How the fuck does this happen? And I'm not saying this to make anybody feel bad. It's like almost like a catalogue of events, isn't it? Yeah. All these things led to this. And actually, I think what led to it was a transient life and going from job to job and person to person and almost wanting to be an enigma, wanting to disappear, almost choosing a moment to come out and be friendly and then seclude herself again. Yeah. And I feel like she was a real complex lady with a lot of baggage to unpack, and I don't think she ever got the chance to do that. Now, so the cause of death was never known because she was so decomposed. Sorry, tissue a moment. Because she was so decomposed and they had to identify by dental records, there's no obvious cause of death. And obviously you can tell by bones if there's been trauma. There was nothing. Organs were all decomposed. They couldn't do toxicology. So they don't know. But I wonder if it's something to do with the peptic ulcer that she had. This surgery that she had, there might have been a complication of surgery. Yeah. It might have been heart failure. Could have been anything. She could have committed suicide. But with all the Christmas presents around it, I get the feeling that wasn't the case. Some of her exes say, oh, it's foul play. But we'll never know. No. But I wanted to tell this story because this is a lady who was somebody's baby, who was somebody's sister, lover and friend. And somehow she died very alone in the most tragic circumstances. I'm going to go. And we need to look out for each other. Yeah. This can't happen. So, if you've got friends you haven't heard from for a little while, you need to reach out. Sorry, over to you, Nan. Sorry. Oh. Little moments. I knew I was going to go. But it just gets me, somebody being alone and nobody knows. It's my biggest fear. And I read that and went, oh, fucking hell, it's actually happened to somebody.
Yeah. I think even when you're so like that and you like to float from place to place and stuff, you'd like to think there's someone who thinks, oh, I wonder how they're getting on.
Yeah. Especially with Facebook now. In 2003, I don't think Facebook was around, but you did have Friends Reunited.
Yeah.
And people were contacting each other on that. But I think it was just her lifestyle. I'm not saying she is to blame. There's no blame. But I just think she's a victim of how she chose to live her life.
Yeah. Even just the odd text or whatever, have someone to check in with,
Yeah. So we haven't got long, but I feel like I need like a little bit of an emotional thing. Hang on. So I found this online. It's an emotional pickle. Right,
I think you told me about this, didn't you?
It's a fucking pickle.
Emotional
I think you're supposed to like
pickle.
hug it, and I don't know what you're supposed to do with it. Emotional support pickle. Life isn't always bread and butter, so this pickle is here to help you deal with all that life throws your way.
Wow.
Right? It comes the little emotional support pickle thing. And it also comes, I don't know why, with a little random sunflower. Can you see that? A little random sunflower with its pickle. So I'm going to fucking hug me pillow now, Nance.
So, you know that the sunflower has a lot of meaning for me.
Yeah. Would you like it?
It's a random little.
You can have the sunflower, and I'm just gonna hug the pickle. So I'm not gonna go on to do a middle bit too much because I just didn't think it was appropriate actually for this. But my little emotional pickle, I suppose, is my middle bit for this one, and you can have the sunflower if you want.
Thanks.
I don't need it back. If you want it, you can keep it. I'm happy with my pickle.
It's funny how since sunflowers just started appearing at every moment, now they're just everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? Right before I pass over to you, I just want to show you a little picture of Joyce. Oh, man. She just reminded me of Whitney Houston.
She really looks like a friend of mine.
Does she?
She's like a twin.
Okay, I'm just going to show it to the camera, but I am going to share her picture on Facebook. She needs to be seen. This lady, she lived a life.
It's such a waste, isn't it? She can just go to bed.
So I know we're always like a laugh a minute on here, but I just wanted to just take a minute just to think about this lady. And it could be anybody.
Yeah.
Couldn't it? So stay in touch with your friends and stuff and your family and just, take a little minute because you just don't know.
No.
Joyce just dropped out of my bag. I don't know, I've done this before. Someone's fucking done this to me before. I'd lent somebody some paracetamol to take and they opened it. I don't think you can see. Can you see that?
What type of psychopath does that?
So you've got a pack of 8 and they don't take it next to each other or like that. There's one there and there's one there and they gave me it back. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing to paracetamol, you monster?
That is a sick person.
I know. Right, have we got we've got a bit of time, Nance. What have you got for us, kid?
So, funny, you've just mentioned...
I'm just going to have a little down.
You've just mentioned Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Now, I know recently we've said, we should talk about the Mandela Effect. And I just love it.
Yes.
So everyone knows what the Mandela Effect is.
But you know what? Just give a little, just in case.
So if you don't know what it is, then the definition, the Mandela Effect refers to a situation in which a large mass of people believe that an event occurred when it didn't.
Yeah.
Or, you can believe pickles have always been blue.
Yeah.
And if loads of people think, I remember pickles being blue.
Yeah. You believe it in the end.
Yeah. But it's not true. So I've just put together a little quiz to say,
oh, fuck,
if you can pass the Mandela
You're
test.
quizzing me?
Yeah.
Nearly had an emotional breakdown on a podcast. You're quizzing me?
It's going to take your mind off
You
it,
think
isn't
I'm a sadist? Jesus. Go on.
So the term was originated in 2009 after she discovered that Nelson Mandela died in the 80s. But he didn't die in the 80s.
No.
He died in 2013. But everyone believes he died in the 80s in prison.
Yeah.
Which wasn't the case.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
The power of suggestion.
Yeah. So there is loads of things that come up when you're like, it's the Mandela Effect, because I believe it. Mm. So should we get into it?
Yeah. Should we get Dylan involved?
Can do.
Go on.
So the first one's easy. Where did Where did Nelson Mandela die? In prison or out of prison?
Where'd you think, Joe?
Out of prison.
Out of prison.
Out of prison. So everyone knows that's the main. It's the main
But a lot of
culprit,
people
isn't
say
it?
he died in prison
Yeah,
in the 80s.
in the 80s. So, what's the correct name of the TV show? Sex and the City, Sex in the City.
Sex in the City?
Dylan?
Is it Sex and the City?
Dylan's right. Sex
Really?
and the City.
Wow. Okay. So
I
a lot
always
of people
thought it was
think
Sex and the City.
Okay.
Yeah. When was Mother Teresa canonised?
Oh, fucking hell.
So you've got two options.
1650, she's that old.
1990, 2016.
I don't even know that. I wouldn't know it was a Mandela Effect. It's religion, isn't it? Don't get on board with that. Don't know.
So it's 2016.
Okay.
Everyone thinks you know, depending on your age, in school you learn about Mother Teresa and stuff. I did. And it's from back in the day.
Which is
so
very
they believe
recent.
it's, 1990. No, it was 2016.
Wow.
It was actually really much later on.
Okay. I mean, I would have thought it was ages ago, but I wouldn't have known it was ages.
How many states are there in America?
I'd love to say 52, but I think it's 50, innit?
50 or 52, Dylan?
50.
Yeah.
It's 50.
Yeah.
Everyone goes to 52.
Yeah.
The Monopoly man wears a monocle. True or false?
False.
False.
That's a really popular one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought he had one.
I found that
When you
recently.
picture him,
someone said that.
He's
to me
got a
recently.
monocle.
Yeah.
But no, he hasn't.
He hasn't.
So-
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
If enough people say it, you believe it.
Yeah. But why do we all believe it? I think of it as a kid and him having a monocle. But
Yeah.
he's never had one.
No. Power suggestion again.
Yeah. So think of Henry VIII.
Yeah. Often all of his wives.
There's a famous picture of him eating a turkey leg. Can you picture it?
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Can you picture it, Dylan?
Yeah.
I don't think
so.
that was there a picture of him?
You can't because one doesn't exist.
I mean, he was always like, well, I'm assuming so.
Oh, Henry. He loved the turkey leg. Yeah, no, everyone remembers this picture
Yeah.
of a big banquet. He's got
Yeah.
a turkey leg.
It doesn't even
Doesn't
exist.
exist.
Might have
There's
to
not
make
a
one.
single picture exists of that.
It's me sketching Henry VIII out of the turkey.
Where did John and Yoko have their first bed in for peace?
The first one, I don't know, but the famous one was in New York, wasn't it? In the apartment
So
building.
that famous picture in the apartment, is it New York or is it Amsterdam?
The famous one, I think it's in Amsterdam, but the last one I think was in New York. What do you think?
I thought it was New York.
So that picture where they're in the bed, they've got the signs around them. That's in Amsterdam.
Yeah. I've sort of read this somewhere, I think, because I think he was actually shot in the building where they've done a bed-in photo shoot, but that wasn't the original one.
Yeah. That was a wet one.
Wow.
Wet one.
That was a definitely, you've got to stop soon one. Okay.
Right, this is one for you.
Oh,
Star
I don't
Wars
like being
fan.
bad. Oh, fucking hell. I'm an emotional wreck. Okay.
What is Darth Vader's famous line about being the dad?
About what?
About being the dad.
It doesn't say it.
What does
I
he
am
say?
the father. I am your father. Or something.
I'm your father, Luke.
Yeah, he doesn't say that.
No, what does he say?
Shit.
Dylan?
Should know this.
He doesn't say, "Look, I am your father." He
No.
just says, "I am your father."
I am your father.
I am your father.
He
I don't think he says
no.
Luke.
No, I am your father.
I am your father. That's a great scene, actually.
Yeah.
Shame I can't remember it.
It was that great, it's gone. But no, so everyone who thinks,
Okay.
people quote the film.
Yeah.
Quote it wrong.
It's like Play It Against Sam from Casablanca. He doesn't say Play It Against Sam.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
No.
Play It Against Sam. He says, Sam, play it.
Yeah.
Play it, Sam.
I think that actually came up on the list when I was
Did it?
looking at them, yeah.
Jaws as well. He doesn't say, "We're going to need a bigger boat." He says, "You're going to need a bigger boat."
Oh, he's putting it firmly in their corner. Yeah.
So think about getting traumatised as a kid watching Bambi.
Oh, I've not watched this since.
So it goes straight in and Bambi's mum's dead. Is that at the start of the film?
It's not right at the start. It's towards the start, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
45 minutes into the film.
Fucking hell. As a kid, that's like 3 hours.
So yeah, everyone thinks it's straight in.
Yeah.
That first scene where they're running wild, that's...
Yeah.
Nope. 45 minutes in.
Cried my leg off with that.
So you're a filmy person. Have you seen Risky Business?
Years ago.
Tom Cruise's famous dance scene.
Yeah.
What's he wearing?
Oh, don't know. What's he wearing?
Shades, a shirt, and socks.
Shades, shirt and socks.
Yeah.
He's not wearing shades.
He's not wearing shades?
No.
Wow.
What?
Nope. That is the Mandela Effect, Dylan.
Isn't that mad?
There's
Isn't
no
that
sunglasses.
Oh,
See, Dylan's going to look it up now.
Oh, that's freaked me out.
Wow.
He's Googling.
He is, look.
Yeah, there's no sunglasses. So everyone says he's wearing a white shirt, pair of socks and a pair of sunglasses. No sunglasses.
Wow. Okay. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, in the scene, he doesn't wear it. And in the DVD cover, he's wearing sunglasses.
But on the actual
But
film,
in the
he's
scene,
not.
he's not.
Yeah.
Wow. There you go.
Curious George the monkey. Has he got a tail or has he got no tail?
Well, I'd like to say a tail because he's a monkey, but I'll say no tail.
Yeah, no tail.
No tail.
Do we know why?
I remember him swinging off stuff with his tail, but apparently he's got no tail.
Oh, right.
No. Another film one for you. What does the evil queen say to the mirror?
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all?
No.
Go on.
No, I would have said that.
Magic mirror on the wall.
She does. She does.
Not mirror, mirror.
Have you seen Michelle Pfeiffer playing the Queen?
Yeah.
God, she's amazing.
Yeah. True or false, President Benjamin Franklin appears on a $100 bill.
I wouldn't know.
No, I don't think. I can't remember who it is, but I don't think it's Benjamin.
So Benjamin Franklin's on a $100 bill, but he was never a president.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yes.
Last one, Star Wars fan.
Oh, fuck off, Lance.
What colour's CP3O?
Gold. So don't fucking tell me he's not gold.
He's not gold.
Shut the front door.
Is he yellow?
He's gold and silver.
Gold? Where's he silver in his eyes?
His leg. He's got a silver leg.
Dylan,
I can't Google it.
Google the fuck out of this. He's got one silver leg.
Yeah.
Right, I wonder if this is a later episode. Was he ordered a silver
No,
leg?
he's always been gold and silver.
Oh, I'm traumatised. Yeah, he's on it now. Fucking hell. Okay, they were a bit of a shock.
So it really blows my mind. Like some of them. Now there's a lot more that we could go through, but it's difficult because you need to have the swipe.
He's got
Look at his silver leg.
He's got a silver leg, Dylan.
He's got a silver leg.
Oh my, has he got a silver leg in all of them? Oh, okay. We're going to have to look into this because I'm doubting my knowledge now of Star Wars. There's a, look there.
Yeah.
Deviant Art one, he's got a silver leg on that.
Yeah.
And that. Oh, hey, Nance, you've just like rocked me world here.
Call yourself a fan.
I know, I'm obviously not a fan. I like that. Weekly news desk.
So yeah.
Wow, okay. So it's not quite a Mandela effect, but it's the power of suggestion. I might do it in a future episode because it's dead interesting. I've got about 500 episodes in the bag, you know. I just sit here researching. But there's one called the dancing sickness. You ever heard of it?
No.
It's centuries ago. And this woman started dancing and didn't stop. And everybody else then was like, well, she's dancing. I got this power of suggestion. And in the end, hundreds of people were dancing. But there's more to it. And I might do it in a future episode. It's really, really interesting. So it's a similar thing. It's a power of suggestion. It's not quite a Mandela effect because what we know about that did actually happen. But the power of suggestion is very, very strong.
Yeah.
The force was strong in this one. So is that
a
all?
true quote?
Yeah. It is now.
You better fact check.
We'll put it out there and do a Mandela effect of our own. Is that all you got for us? Brilliant.
If there's any really interesting ones, I think people should send us them because it blows my
We
mind.
can share it on Facebook, couldn't we? We might put a little something on Facey and they can all
Well, there's loads of
join
little
in.
quizzes that you can do, but they're all like picture quizzes.
Which
like
are more for
logos
Facey,
and
really,
stuff,
aren't they? Yeah. Cool. Right. We're going to leave it there because I just need to go in the toilet and cry for 5 minutes. I'm bottling this up, honest to God. That was really great.
I didn't cry because you told me to get rid of my heart after Christmas. So
yeah, I've noticed that it's gone. It's gone until next. It's packaged up. And it's gone until next December. Yeah. No, it's nice to have you back. All that fluffiness, it was discombobulating. Right, so that is it for episode 19. Sorry for the tears. I knew it was going to happen. I'm not a pretty crier. I'm not a pretty gagger either. You would have seen that on Patreon.
And if you haven't, it's not too late.
It's not to do with blowjobs either, that one. So thank you for bearing with me with that one. I hope you found that interesting, and thanks for your Mandela Effect. If you want to know more about that, the internet's got loads of information. There's some mind-blowing stuff out there about the Mandela Effect and whether you think how it happens, actually. It happens more now for social media and the internet and stuff, but it has actually been going on for a long time. Mm-hmm. So we'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your week. Catch us on Facebook, catch us on Instagram, chat with me, you know I love it. And Nance, you do get in, don't you? You have a little like every now and then and stuff in the background. Yep. So she does follow us, even though you don't really comment, do you? Because it's on your own vanilla.
Yeah, it's just on my normal vanilla one, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. But
she's around. Loads of random friend requests
so by
on
all
that
means, say hello.
Yep.
And like I've said previously, coffee.com/Padded Cell Podcast. You want to drop us a little tip. And Patreon. We're going to be doing another Patreon episode soon. You don't know this. We're doing another Patreon episode. I haven't actually told you when. I haven't told you what it is yet either.
Did you not tell me yesterday?
Oh, possibly. Fucking hell. Anyway, we're doing another one soon. So catch us over on Patreon, and I'll be throwing some more stuff on there as well. And the next one is number 20, episode 20. I feel like I should do something, but it's only 20. Maybe we should wait till it goes to 50 before
we'll
we do
have a little
something.
cake.
Ooh,
Probably
cake.
won't eat.
I know, yeah. Until then, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
See you soon.
Bye. And there we have it. Another day made better by listening to the curators of chaos. Thanks for dropping by. And if you enjoyed the show, we'd really appreciate you sharing your love for the Padded Cell Podcast with your friends. Don't forget, give us a follow on our socials, maybe leave us some 5-star reviews, and feel free to send us an email to medic@the Padded Cell Podcast, or even interact with us on Facebook, Insta, and our other socials, because we love chatting to you. Be sure to stop by next week because, as Bowie says, I don't know where I'm going next, but I promise it won't be boring. Catch you soon.